Hello world! Today we're going to be making this dress. And if you want to make this dress at home, good news, because I am giving away the digital version of this dress to anyone who wants it. Just pop a comment down below saying I want that dress, and I'll make sure you get the PDF of it. It's a very simple pattern, even if it does look very fancy and flowy and fun. We have 2 centre backs, 2 side backs, 2 side fronts, 2 centre fronts. 2 centre fronts? Yes. At home, on your pattern, it will say to cut 1 centre front on the fold. This is correct. Please do this. I'm making this dress out of some end of run leftover stock I had, so I had to get a little creative with the pattern placement. If you're doing this right, you should have 1 centre front cut on the fold. We're going to have the big back flounce, the short front flounce, the godet pieces, and the facing. As part of my prep, I've already cut all of the fabric pieces and I have lined the edges of the godet. So, let's get into it. To start with, we're going to attach the godets and the flounces at the front only. We are not attaching the back flounces in the first step. These back flounces are beautiful, they're also very large, very flowy, and very annoying to pick out of side seams. So we're going to be holding off on them for the moment. We're going to take our front flounces, find the top of the front flounce, find the notch on your side seam, voila! Now, onto the godets. We have 6 in total. 2 for the side backs and the centre backs. 2 for the side backs and the side fronts. And 2 for the side fronts and the centre fronts. I'm just going to go attach those and come back when they are done. Now, each of these godet pieces is only attached on one of its respective seams. That is because the next step is to sew most of these panels together. I'm going to take a side back to a side front to a centre front to a centre front, and again you should only have 1 centre front cut on the fold unless you're like out of fabric and had to make do, to a side front, and then back to a side back. Let me just do each of those seams. There we have a dress, or at the very least 50% of a dress. We are now going to bite the bullet and attach the long back flounces. Theoretically, you could have done this in step 1, but I mean, that is a lot of fabric and very easy to get caught. Why bother with the risk? Just do it now. Again, exactly the same with the front. You just find the notch, line it up, and sew it down. And do the exact same thing on the other side. And then our wings are attached. Now you can probably guess what's next. We take the back seams and we attach them to the back seams. Roll that one up. Okay. That's all of the major panel pieces attached. Congratulations. The next step is going to be our zip laps. It's a very simple strip material that covers the zip when the dress is worn. Now, keep in mind that these fold over once the zip is actually attached, so at the moment they should be facing away from the centre back, and the layer will fold over to cover the centre back. And once these are in, we're simply going to attach the zip, and we will end up with an almost functional dress. And then once you've got those in, very simply, just have to finish off the shoulder seams. And the facing. You do not have to do a facing if you do not want to. You could bind the armhole and neckline seams. I'm doing a facing because this is a lovely, though coarse linen, and this is a gorgeously soft rayon. We're going to slam those in. I'm going to assume if you've got this far, you don't need me to walk you through how to do a facing. So we're just going to... Now that you have your facing in, we're going to do all the finishing touches. This means finishing the seams and the edges and the bindings. If I were doing this dress for a client, I would then French all these seams. But because I'm just doing it for me, I'm going to cheat a little and just overlock them. I'm also binding at the bottom edge and the neck and armhole. But didn't you just do a facing on the neck and armhole? Yes. The facing was for comfort, the binding is for style. I want to bring that black line from the flounces into the rest of the garment. And once I've done that, my final step is just to tack down the pleats on the front here to make that darling little bow. If you're using a softer fabric, you're going to want to interface this panel so that it stays up. You might even need boning, depending on how soft your fabrics are. I have both interfaced this fabric and I'm using a very stiff linen. So with that done, all that's left is to try it on. One finished dress. Flounces and wings and a darling sweetheart bow at the front. If you do make this dress, please tag me because I would love to see everybody's interpretations. And again, if you want this pattern, just comment below. And if you like this content, then give it a like.